Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of SoTellUs Time. Today we're going to be talking about some really good resources that you guys can use with a little bit of the information that has been put out to us. But before we get to that, what we want to talk about first is in this crazy world that we're living in right now, we want to talk about the power of positivity. And this is something that's really important. So stay tuned. Don't shut it off. Don't say, I don't want any of that mindset, hooey fooey. Let me tell you, it is proven that the mindset that you have is going to shape and affect your attitude and what happens around you and people wanting to be around you or not be around you. And really what you're putting out there is what you're going to be bringing back. And so it's interesting as all of this has been going on. I'm sure you guys have experienced the same thing as I have been. I put out some positive stuff on social media, trying to really lighten the situation, saying, hey, look, they've got, things they're working on, and they're working towards cures and vaccines and testing drugs and doing all this stuff. And no matter what I posted that was in the least bit positive, I was jumped all over. People were just like, no, you don't understand. And they were freaking out at me. And the funny thing was, after so many, I just said, I'm going to stay positive. I understand. People are getting sick. People are dying. The numbers are going up. And yes, of course, the numbers are going up. Let me make it very clear. The numbers are going to continue to go up because the testing is more and more now. Now that we have tests, we can find out how many people actually have it. But that doesn't mean that any more people have it than already had it. Okay, we're just being able to test it now. Right. So we're being able to confirm. So as the numbers of people who have it goes up, that is to be expected, just so people know that and to be clear. And so the more that I was posting some positive things and trying to stay on the positive side, the people just kept trying to eat me alive. And it was just like doom and gloom all over my social media. And I got so sick of it. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Yeah. I want to stay positive through this. Yes, I understand. I've got to wash my hands. I've got to social distance. I got to stay home as much as possible, and we don't want to spread this. And we've got a lot of things that we need to do. But that doesn't mean it has to be doom and gloom and the world is falling, the sky is falling, we're all running around like chickens with our heads cut off. This is crazy. And we're making this more of a cluster than it really has to be. Yeah. When everybody first ran out and was buying toilet paper and water and freaking out, and you couldn't get your hands on any of this. Now, what is funny is some of the memes I'm seeing is people trying to return the water and the toilet paper and all the crap that they bought because they freaked out. And so positivity is really important. Maintaining a positive attitude and a positive outlook will actually help you in your business. Yes. And Troy, you actually have a whole case study about this, right?
Yeah. So it's actually kind of interesting because, what you think or what you're thinking about in your mind really affects what you see in the world around you. Yeah. And a perfect example of this is the Baader-Meinhof phenomenon, they call it. And what the Baader-Meinhof phenomenon is, it's actually a term for what's called frequency illusion. And it's a type of cognitive bias that your mind creates. So basically, I want you to think about let's say you buy a new car, and then all of a sudden, everywhere you drive on the road, you see people driving that exact same car.
Same color and everything, right?
Yeah, same color and everything. You're like, what the heck? Why are there so many of these? I never saw these before. Yep. And that's literally what we're talking about. It's when you see after you buy a new car, you're going to see it everywhere. And the reason why is because that car is on your mind. Yes. And then your brain is going to adjust. And it's going to actually start looking for those subconsciously. Mm-hmm. And so you're going to see them everywhere. And that's what this, Baader-Meinhof phenomenon is that basically whatever you're thinking about, your mind is going to subconsciously look for those things. Yeah. So, and the reason why I bring that up is that if you are thinking about doom and gloom and I'm going out of business and, this is going to be horrible. Yeah. If that's what you're thinking about, then that's what your mind is going to display to you.
Absolutely. And subconsciously, and we've learned this from shows, movies, right? Documentaries like The Secret. And if you've never seen The Secret, I'm pretty sure it's on Netflix. It was for a while.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's amazing. And it talks about mindset. And mindset is so powerful. I mean, if you've ever gone to a Tony Robbins event or seen Tony Robbins speak, you know, any of these things, you will realize that in business, mindset really matters. But what you think and what you think about, you start to subconsciously create.
Yes.
I mean, and it's not like hooey. We're not talking about hooey. Oh, just I think it and it happens. Hallelujah, that doesn't. Like, because if we were to think about the elephant in the room, a big elephant pops in the room, that would suck. That's not what we're talking about here. This is that when you think of things and you focus on things, you in your subconscious start to make things happen. You make decisions, little incremental movements that move you towards this whole situation. And I'll tell you, in The Secret, which is pretty funny, he talks about the guy, he envisions, you know, the sports car that he wants, and he envisions driving it, and he envisions having it and the feeling that he has as he has it. And he sits on his couch every day and he envisions this sports car, and as he's whipping through the mountains and he's having a good time, and, you know, all this. And they say, you know, start to envision the things you want. So I did it. I was like, yeah, I'm going to envision this. I'm going to do it because I want this sports car. And I was so excited. And so I started envisioning it every day and I was doing it. And you know what was crazy is within a couple of months, I got that sports car. But guess what? It didn't just magically go and appear on my driveway. What happened is subconsciously, I started obsessing over the sports car, and I started looking at like, how could I make these alternations and changes, and how would I get my hands on it? And then I started looking for them out there. And then all of a sudden the perfect deal came along, and I was like, well, I made it happen. And I went out and I bought the sports car. The sports car didn't just show up. Yeah. But it's what was on my mind. And so that's what I started to create.
Yep, exactly. And that's exactly what we're talking about here. So I want you to think about that in your business. Mm-hmm. If you're just thinking about the bad things that are going on and you're thinking about, I'm going out of business, my clients are going to leave me, blah, 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 all that negative stuff, that's what you're going to see. Yeah. And the problem with that is when you're focused on that, you're going to miss all the other opportunities that are out there for you to pivot and do things different to grow your business. Yep. So that's why having a positive attitude is so important, so that you can see the positive things that can change your life and make it better versus just focusing on the negative. Exactly. So let's talk about that, Trevor. Let's talk about let's talk about like being able to control things, because a lot of people freak out about controlling stuff. The first and most important thing to control is you. You have to control your own mindset. You have to control the things around you that you can control, meaning you need to let go of the things you can't control, right? I mean, if anyone's ever been, to an AA meeting, that's one of the first things they teach you is you let go of the things you can't control. And it's in a whole thing that they have. But what are some of the things that we can't control? Well, we can't control how long this is going to last. Yeah. We all keep hanging on to, as business owners, we're hanging on to that. It's just another week or two. It's just 14 days. We're just going to get through this. It's just going to be, and if we do that, and if you start putting out there that, well, I can survive the next 2 weeks. Well, how about not saying, well, I can survive the next 6 months? Yeah. Why not? Why not say, I can survive the next 6 months? Because if you can put that goal into your mind and you can say, I can feasibly do this and this and this and make it happen. Well, guess what? If it ends in 2 weeks, then you're phenomenal. You're fine. Everything's fine. Always set your goals higher than what you may achieve. Right. And then when you still, absolutely. So that you push. So let's push our mindsets a little bit. Let's push our expectations a little bit. Some of the things we can't, how others are going to react. So just because everybody else runs out and, is punching themselves or punching other people in the face over toilet paper, doesn't mean that we have to run out and punch people in the face over toilet paper, right? Right. We can be nice human beings and wait in line patiently and be very patient, because we know that this is a bad situation. So just because other people freak out and do things doesn't mean you have to. Predicting what will happen. Well, we can't predict what will happen. It's honestly a 50-50 chance. Right. I have all these people coming at me going, well, this is going to happen, and this is going to happen, and this is going to happen, Trevor, and they're just lying to us, and the government's a bunch of liars, and they don't have anything. And I'm like, well, guess what? There's a 50-50 chance that you're right and I'm right. I sure hope I'm right. Yeah.
And I bet you hope I'm right. So I don't know why you're slinging all this, negativity in my face. We all want this to end, right? Now, we also, as business owners, we can't control the actions of our own clients. We can't control their actions. They may have to pause your services. They may have to cancel your services. They may be, in a way worse off situation than you are. So we can't control what they're going to do, but we also don't need to freak out about what they're going to do. Because if you have been listening to our podcast and planning and preparing and getting your numbers and doing all these things over the years, then you should be in a situation where you are going to be able to weather this storm. And I feel like there's a lot of people that are going to be able to weather this storm that are freaking out more than what they need to be.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was actually talking to someone the other day, a business owner, and they're like, oh my gosh, this is like so horrible. All my clients are going to cancel. So like I need to start like canceling my stuff and canceling this and canceling that and saving money because everybody's going to cancel on me. And I'm like, well, of course they're going to cancel now because that's what you're thinking, right? Like he was freaking out.
Well, and the question is, how many have canceled so far? Well, none.
Yeah, that's what I asked. I actually asked him. I said, okay, well, how many of your clients have actually canceled? Well, none of them canceled yet. Okay, well then why are you changing everything in your life and your business based on the fact that they might cancel when they haven't canceled yet? So, get that negativity out of your mind and don't make decisions on things that you don't know yet.
Right. What should we focus on, Troy?
All right. So what you should be focusing on is first, your positive attitude. That's something that you can decide.
Yes.
Right? And I'm going to give you a real quick example of this. Anyone who knows our dad, his favorite word, whenever you ask him how he is doing, the answer is always sensational.
That's right. Sensational.
That's his word. And like literally he always uses it my whole life. I remember one time he was so sick, he was in bed. I walked in the room and I thought, I'm going to get him this time. So I was like, hey dad, how are you doing? And he's like, sensational. And I'm like, you don't sound sensational. And he's like, there's different degrees of sensational. And I'm like, all right. But the point was his positive attitude.
See, right? And I incorporated that, Troy. Everybody asks me, how are you doing today, Trevor? And I say, sensational. Sensational. Full of sin.
So, but the point is, it's actually funny because we had this friend of my parents that was a psychologist, and she got so mad at him. Like, she got so upset. She's like, you can't be sensational all the time. You're lying to yourself. You're,
gosh.
And again, the negativity, she was so negative about it. Like, demanding that he understand that he cannot be that happy in his life. It's not possible. And he's just like, I'm happy. It's his attitude, right?
Yeah.
So keep a positive attitude. Look for the good in things. Next thing, turning off the news.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
So if you don't want negative things in your life, then turn them off.
Yeah.
Turn off the news if it's negative, which is most of it is.
And I'll tell you right now, the thing is, everything is changing every single day.
Yeah.
Literally every single day. The numbers change, the stats change, everything is changing. So what they're reporting to you today is not even going to necessarily be, relevant tomorrow.
Yes.
So really, we just got to get down the road further.
Yeah.
We need more data. We need to get down the road further. So every little minute thing that they want to freak out about, it's not making you any better off. I promise that.
Yeah. So turn off the news. The other thing, limiting negative social media.
Yeah.
Like Trevor was talking about, some people are just going to be negative, and no matter what you say, no matter how positive you are, they're going to try to tear it down. So limit that negative social media. If you're going to be on social media, interact with the positive people in your lives.
And you know what? The other thing is, you don't have to reply to people who are negative.
No.
I mean, I feel like we always have to, people feel like they have to defend their position, right? We don't have to. There's people that I just refuse to even respond to anymore. I'm just like, I don't know if you want this to be as bad as they're saying it is. I don't know if you want, millions of people are going to die. Well, let's hope not.
Yeah.
That's the point. Like, why are you out there just pushing this? I mean, goodness gracious. So you don't have to reply to people.
Yep, exactly. You don't have to participate in that negative stuff because it's going to bring you down. And then working on things that can actually improve your business versus, working on nothing.
Yep.
And just sitting back and just, wallowing in what's happening to your business. And we're going to talk a little bit about that later, about what things you can do to help improve your business during those times. But you really got to focus on what you can control and let go of the stuff that you cannot control. Absolutely. That's step one.
Yep.
All right. So let's see. how can we fill our mind with positive things, Trevor? What are some ways we can do that?
Well, and before I go into that, stick with us, because we've got some updated information on some of the things that business owners are going to be able to do. So I want you guys to stick with us on this. Being positive is very important. Having the right mindset and the right outlook is very important. And I remember talking to a guy, and he was a home inspector, and his attitude when things were amazing was horrible. It was always, well, it could be better. It was just always that it could be better. So this sucks and this sucks and this sucks. And the guy was like, my life sucks. And I'm like, yeah, your life does suck, because all you think about is that your life sucks.
Yeah.
You know, and he was such a downer person. And then I saw him a year or so later, and it was like, he was getting a divorce and his dog had died and all these things. It almost sounded like a freaking country song. And I was like, yeah, I wouldn't want to be around a super negative person all the time. Anyways, so stick with us. This positive stuff really does matter. It does change and shape your business. And we are going to have some really good information here at the end as well about some of the new information that's out for businesses and helping you with, financial situations and things like that.
Yes.
So filling your mind, how to fill your mind with positive things. Well, first off, podcasts. You guys are listening to us. And I know we laugh a lot and we have a lot of fun, and hopefully we make you guys giggle at least, or laugh at us saying, man, these guys are wackadoodles. But I hope you guys really enjoy our podcast. And there's a lot of podcasts out there.
Yeah.
And actually, it was funny. There's comedian podcasts.
Yep.
There is super funny stuff out there. And I like to listen to that. So whenever I start to feel stressed, and I'm like, because I'm human, just like you all are human. And yes, there are moments where I can get consumed and feel overwhelmed. And I just have to break my mindset. I just have to say, forget it. We're not doing this. And I'll go throw on one of these comedian podcasts. And within minutes, I am like crying from laughter.
Yeah.
So it's a great way. In fact, the other night, it was like 2:00 in the morning. I had just gotten done helping this situation with a client, trying to set up this whole online thing for them. And we'll talk. I'm going to touch base on that a little bit too. But I was exhausted, and I was on social media. I pop over to social media. Never pop over to social media like 2 a.m. It's a terrible idea, because it was just all doom and gloom. And I was sitting there, and I'm like, ugh, and I started to get all frustrated. And then I wanted to comment on people's stuff, and I wanted to rip people for being so negative, and it was absorbing me. I was just getting, enthralled in it. And I was like, what am I doing? Stop. And I turned on this comedian podcast, Gaffety. What's his name?
Jim Gaffigan.
Jim Gaffigan. Gaffigan?
Yeah, Gaffigan.
Jim Gaffigan. That dude is so funny. I love it. And for the most part, everything he does is very clean.
Yep.
And I just love it. And here I am at 2:00 in the morning. I start, it's like I start, and then I'm like, and then I am out loud laughing. And my wife is like, whacks me. He's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm changing my mindset. Leave me alone. So listening to podcasts, listening to radio shows, XM Radio, they've got comedy on there as well. Funny stuff. Watching motivational or positive videos. So we've done this as a family. We've started to where, we've got Netflix, we've got Hulu, we've got all these different, subscriptions. And what we're doing now is we're actually watching some comedy shows, the ones that are clean for the kids. Yep. We're watching positive movies. We're really trying to fill our home with positive vibes, with a lot of, happiness and laughter. And I'll tell you what, even my kids a week or two ago were like, well, what about this? And and they were like getting sucked into it. Even though I don't even have my kids on social media, but they were still, friends were saying things and this and that. And, they're still doing their social distancing with all their friends. Yes. And so they're doing their FaceTime and everything. And other kids are freaking out. So it's freaking them out. And from a week or so ago to now, my house is a totally different place. We are laughing. We're having a good time. We're enjoying each other. And it's been great. So movies and videos.
Yeah,
stick to the positive.
One of the things
stuff.
we've done is like my kids, and I'm going back to old school stuff. Like my kids, we watched Rudy the other day.
Oh yeah.
And they're like, yeah, and they're like, look, that's the guy from like Lord of the Rings. And I'm like, no, that's Rudy.
That's Rudy.
And then we were watching, Cool Runnings. With the Jamaican bobsled team. My kids loved that movie. And again, they're laughing, they're having fun, but at the same time, I'm filling their minds with these, stories of overcoming obstacles and looking at the positive things in the life. And, and you can do that. You can do that for your kids. You can do that for yourself.
Yeah, man. You can totally do that, man. Yeah. Oh, wait, no, sorry. I'm not Jamaican. Time to calm your mind. Take some time to calm your mind, especially if you've got more time at home now, right? Where we all probably do. Take time, and seriously, if you have to, get on YouTube and learn some yoga, learn some meditation, do some praying, whatever it is that you can do to get outside of the situation that's going on and calming yourself. I'm telling you, we are being affected by this just like every business out there. We are being affected by it. Now, we have weathered storms before, not exactly like this, but similar in the situation of businesses struggling and, the economy crashing and everything. We've weathered this storm. So we've already kind of shared with you guys a little bit about what we do. We're continuing to market. We're continuing to outperform our competitors because they're all like shutting down marketing. They're all letting people go home. They're doing all this stuff where we're still just moving fast forward. We're just going after it. So that's one thing that we're doing. Take what you want from that. But taking the time to relax and say, I can move forward in this, and I will survive this. This will not crush me. This will not make me start all over in life. I am going to be fine. And for sure, for the majority of us, this will not kill us. Yes. So that's a really important thing, because whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? Okay. The other thing would be serving others. What can you do for other people? So the other day, I know we're doing social distancing, but I was outside spraying the weeds in my front yard. And so I noticed my next door neighbor is an elderly couple, and I always go and I have the kids pick weeds for them, take their trash cans in and out. I want my kids to learn how to serve other people and everything. Well, I just noticed they had some weeds that were popping up, and I said, well, I'm already spraying. So instead of just going and pulling the weeds, I'm going to go and spray these weeds. Well, then I looked and I saw the next door neighbor, him had some weeds, and I've got this big old backpack, like 4-gallon backpack or something. And so I just went down to the next neighbor, and then the next neighbor did. And then 3 neighbors down, I noticed that they had a bunch of weeds. So I just went down and I just started spraying all my neighbors' weeds. And you know what? Nobody even knew. And I don't care. Yeah. I'm not looking for recognition. I just wanted to go out and do something for somebody else. And it was really great. We've had a lot of great things happen. We've had homemade bread show up on our doorstep. We've had goodies and snacks show up on our doorstep. My wife did this thing called heart attacking, where you cut these hearts out and you write nice messages, and then you go and you tape them to people's doors. And she and my kids did this for, I want to say, over 20 families that they went and did this. And they just wanted to have a positive message for people out there, something to wake up to and be excited about. Yeah. So serving.
One of the things my wife has been doing is she knows how to sew and is pretty good at it. So during this downtime, when her kids are home, she's been teaching our kids how to sew masks to put over your face.
Cool.
And so because there's a hospital that will, you can make the mask for them, and then they wash them and do all this stuff to it that they can be used, right? So that's what they're doing. There's a whole group of women, and including kids like my kids, that are making these really cool masks, and they're donating them to the hospitals. That's awesome. For people to wear then wash and use again. So, a lot of different things you can do to, help other people and forget about your own problems.
Yeah. And realize in the world, there are a lot of people coming together during this time. A lot of people. I mean, we've got car makers that have shut down building cars, and they're building ventilators.
Yeah.
Because we need them. We've got, companies that are like, hey, we can help create sanitation stuff. We can create masks. We can, all this stuff. And people are coming together to serve and help each other. And it's really good. So I don't want to beat that, horse to death here. You guys get the idea. We've got a lot of good ways. You can read books. You can surround yourself by positive people. And you just have to remember, this too shall pass. We will get through this. So let's move on to the next section of our thing, which would be focusing on what you should be focusing on in your business right now, right?
Yeah. So what should you be focusing on right now? Maybe you are stuck at home and you can't, go out and do things. So what can you do on your business now during this time? So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. First and foremost, you should be asking yourself, how can I pivot in my business to bring in revenue? Is there something that I can do, that I can change, that will bring in revenue to my business? I'll give you a perfect example. I was talking to one of our carpet cleaners the other day, and he also does like power washing.
Yeah.
And so what he did is he's out there like spraying and cleaning parks for kids.
Oh,
like the
cool.
the equipment and things like that.
That's awesome.
So he's out there doing that. He found a way to utilize his equipment and what he already had, and he's out there doing something different than carpet cleaning.
Yeah.
But it's still making him money. So what can you do?
Yeah,
right now?
why not? If you have those cleaning chemicals, why not approach some of these grocery stores that have all their carts, and you sit there and you just process and clean these carts?
Yep.
I mean, just go up to them. I'm sure they're overwhelmed. I know these grocery stores are overwhelmed. Find out who you can talk to. Tell them what services you have that you can sit and clean these carts, and all day long you can just sit there and you might be able to bring some revenue in that way.
Yeah, exactly. So just look for ways that you can pivot in your business and bring revenue in different ways.
Well, and let me give you another example of something we just did for one of our clients.
Yep.
We just went to one of our clients' offices the other day, and they sell patio furniture. And we actually shot a video for them, letting people know that they were open and that they could also purchase online because they have current inventory. They're not, ordering. A lot of patio furnitures will order out of like China and stuff. And so it takes like weeks to get the materials in and everything like that. This company is family owned and locally built materials, and they use all American steel. They're a great company. And so we wanted to make sure that everybody knew. So the thing is, they were like, well, we don't want to be on video. Like, we don't want to do that. And we're like, that's okay. So I actually went there and I was the spokesperson on the video. And we shot a video talking about how they're open, how you can have a live tour of their current inventory. And you just needed to fill out a form on the website and schedule that tour. And then you could purchase online, and their delivery people will deliver it for free and put it up on your back porch and set it up and make it look beautiful. And you never have to interact with a person directly.
Yep.
And it's working really well already for them. And so that was really good. That's a way to think about. We have a lot of doctors and dentists that are doing online consultations now, video. And how else could you be doing that? What could you be doing? Could you be doing your estimating online? And then you can come and do projects for people, especially if you work outside their home. Do your estimating over video.
Yeah.
Right?
And the other thing, too, that's really important to point out with like the patio furniture company is all their competitors just close their doors. Every one of them closed their doors.
They're still marketing.
Yeah. So they're out there marketing. They're the only ones open.
Yes.
And they came up with a way, or we helped them come up with a way to continue to do business when their competitors were too busy thinking about doom and gloom that they didn't even come up with the idea of, hey, what if we did this?
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So perfect example there. Okay, another thing you can do is, let's see. Oh, what have I always needed to do in my business, but have put off because I was too busy?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what they say. People say that all the time. Oh, I'm too busy to get this done. Well, now you're not.
Yeah. So whatever it might be, whether it's marketing or whether it's operations or, go ahead and focus on that and get it done now so that your business will be better when you come back. Another thing is how can I create more marketing for my business?
Yep.
And this is another thing that people always say, like, I don't have time for marketing. I don't have time to learn anything or right?
Yep.
So I'm going to give you a couple of questions here. Can you create content to sell or share online? Right? Your expertise. Can you create content and sell that? I know a lot of our gyms, we've talked about this in our previous podcast. They went to online classes and they're making money still. Maybe you can't sell your services online as far as like, creating content online and sell it. But what could you share online with your customers and potential customers that would, entice them to do business with you when everything starts back up?
Exactly.
So can you create videos that would make you the expert in your industry? I can't tell you how many times we've talked to clients that are like, oh yeah, I'd love to be the expert in my industry and I would love to shoot all these different videos, but I just don't have time.
Yep.
You do now. Shoot those videos and get them out there, become the expert. Can you create systems to streamline your marketing? Maybe it's drip emails that you've always wanted to create and you've never had time to do that. So create those now so that when you launch again, your marketing's going great.
Yeah.
Can you create a community for your customers or potential customers to better serve them?
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many of our clients have Facebook groups.
Yeah.
That they have built up to thousands and tens of thousands of people that are communicating in this group, and they're managing the group, but they're also generating leads out of this giant group.
Yeah.
So, can you create a community and put it together and get people into it, to better serve not only your customers, but your potential customers? And then can I rebrand or solidify my current brand? That's another thing that you can do.
It's true.
Do you need to make changes to your website? Do you need to update your website? Those are all things you can be working on right now. And then, of course, can I get reviews from my customers right now?
Yeah.
And that's a great thing to do right now, is get reviews from your customers, because as we've said before, they're probably, sitting at home watching Netflix.
Yeah, well, totally. And to make 2 comments on those last 2 things is your website. So people all the time complain, oh, I hate my website. Your website should be your best employee that's the cheapest and works 24/7 for you. So if that's not the case, get it together and start working on it. Get with your website people. They will help you. Trust me, they need the business too.
Yeah.
So they want to keep you as a client, and they need, to help you. They want to help you make your website more effective for you, especially during these times. Now, second, reviews. I had somebody say to me the other day, well, I don't know. Should I get reviews from my customers right now? I don't know. Did you piss them off for some reason? Did you give them crappy service or something? No. Do your customers love you? Yes. Then why would you be afraid to get a review from them just because you can't? Well, I can't service them immediately right now. Okay, that's fine. But just because you can't service them, which they understand that, I'm assuming you've also contacted your customers and they all know the situation of what's going on with your business. Why would they not give you a great review if they love you? Yes, get reviews right now. In fact, you'll get more reviews because people have more time on their hands.
Yes, exactly. All right, so those are some things you could be doing from a marketing perspective for your business. Now, what resources are available to help your business get through this?
Yes, here we go, people.
All right, here we go. So this is some of the newer information that has come out. And one of the big ones is SBA loans. A lot of our businesses are small businesses.
Yes.
So you fall into that category, and the government has put tons of billions of dollars into the SBA program so that you can get loans, literally up to $2 million in some cases.
That's amazing.
For disaster relief. And then I've even seen now they just released like up to $10 million for some of the bigger businesses, which is crazy. So how do you do that? What you want to do is you want to go to sba.gov.
Yep.
You want to read through that website. You want to find out the programs that are available there.
Yeah.
And then you want to reach out to them. And of course, they're probably going to be super busy right now. So get out there right away and start contacting them to figure out how you can get access to it. One of the new ones that just came out is called the Paycheck Protection Program. Mm-hmm. And it's actually designed to provide a direct incentive for small businesses to keep their workers on payroll by providing each small business a loan up to, if you're not a small business, a bigger business, $10 million for payroll and certain other expenses.
That's
so are
awesome.
you worried about how you're going to keep your employees on payroll right now?
You should be. Honestly, you should be. Because, and I'm not even saying worried, but I mean, you should be thinking of that.
Yep.
Like good business owners, we are fighting tooth and nail. We're going to keep our employees. We're going to do everything we possibly can, including, because again, we've weathered this before, including Troy and I take pay cuts before we ever give our employees pay cuts or get rid of anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just how we run our business. And you want to know what? We've always come out on top.
Yeah, exactly. And I want you to listen to this. This is really cool. So basically, with this Paycheck Protection Program, they said if all employees are kept on payroll for 8 weeks, the SBA will forgive the portion of the loans used for payroll, rent, mortgage interest, or utilities.
That's huge.
So up to 100% of the loan is forgivable.
That's huge.
I want you to think about that, right? So here's your options. You can either let all your employees go, right? And then they're going to go find jobs somewhere else, and
or file unemployment,
which
now they get for like 4 months and all sorts of stuff.
And then when everything turns back around and you are busy again, now you're scrambling trying to find good employees to do the job. Or in this case, right, you could actually go get a loan from the SBA. You could continue to pay your employees. You could have them helping you out any way they can.
Yeah.
Right. Anything possible. Maybe helping out with marketing or doing whatever. There's a lot of different things. Get creative with them.
Absolutely.
Right. And then 100% of that can be forgiven
if
you can keep those employees on. So I want you to really think about that.
Exactly. Because here's one thing that is just eating me is I'm like, man, we've had some, and I'm going to call you out a little bit here, just a little bit, but we've had some cleaning companies call up and they're like, we're shutting our doors. Why? Well, we've been having clients cancel on us. Okay. Well, here's the deal. If you're worried about making payroll or you don't have work for your employees, how about, I bet your employees want to work. I bet they want to make money. So go get one of these loans and go get your cleaners to go start knocking doors and putting flyers out and giving away a free cleaning. Because guess what? Now you got money to pay them whether they're cleaning or not. So now we go out and there is no reason, especially for cleaners, that they should be shutting their doors during this time. I've got cleaners that are cleaning up. Okay, yes. Pun intended, cleaning up, because they are getting more business than they can handle. So we're not going to roll over. If you feel like you're ready to shut your doors, I'm begging you, don't roll over. You guys can survive this and you can even thrive during this. It's just about being smart, pivoting, taking the chance. Guys, 100. If you quit, I know 100%. There's 100% of what's going to happen. Okay, 100% guarantee what is going to happen if you quit. But there's at least a 50-50 chance if you just take a chance on your business. Okay, get these employees out there. Get this money. Get them keep working. I don't care if they're knocking doors, giving away free cleanings, whatever you have to do in order to get new business or keep clients. But you do it.
Oh yeah. In fact, that reminded me of one of our clients. Who's a carpet cleaner in Austin, Texas. I don't know if you remember him.
Oh, yeah.
But the way he started his carpet cleaning business is he literally just went, knocked on doors and said, hey, I would love to clean your carpets and show you what a great job I can do, and I'm going to do it for free today. And he would clean the carpet for free. He would give them like a bottle of like champagne or something. And then he had some cards that they could share with all their friends and family.
To get a free cleaning.
Yeah, to get a free cleaning. And he went out and sure, he wasn't making any money in the beginning, but he built up this huge customer base of people that loved him and they saw how great his service was.
And referred to him.
And they referred to him. And then 6 months later, they were more than happy to pay for him to come in and clean their carpets.
And it didn't take 6 months for him to start making money. And let me tell you, he is probably one of the largest companies I've seen independently owned. They're huge. They did a phenomenal job. Phenomenal.
So again, that's thinking outside the box. Like what Trevor just talked to you about of, hey, keep your employees on and get them out there doing free cleanings. I mean, holy smokes. To me, that's a genius idea.
Yeah, nothing bothers me more than, hey, I'm just going to shut down. I'm going to fight tooth and nail to the bitter end. That's me. I'm a fighter. Troy's a fighter. We're not just going to roll over. And that doesn't mean that we couldn't potentially lose. I want you to understand that we are in the same predicament as everybody else. We don't have a magic crystal ball or anything like that. But what we do have is we've got grit. And we've got longevity. And we're going to take a punch and we're going to give it back twice as hard. That's that's the mentality you need to have as a business owner, especially during this time.
Exactly. And then, of course, there's also bank loans. Obviously, you know, we all know that the Federal Reserve has released billions of dollars to the banks at like almost a 0% interest rate for small businesses.
So call your bank.
Call your bank. Get a hold of your bank. Need money for marketing? Get a hold of your bank. Get a loan, right? So go get the paycheck protection to take care of your employees. Then go get a small loan from your bank to keep cranking your marketing so that you can take over the market that you're in while your competitors are all hiding under their covers.
It's awesome. It really is awesome to see some of these competitors just drop off the face of the earth, and our clients that are just, you know, they're going, holy cow. And every day, let me tell you, every day it is changing. I have clients that are like, man, the last 2 days, dead. Today, amazing. I just made up for the whole last week. Like I'm out of inventory, or man, I saw so many patients today. It was insane. Or I did so much emergency dental. It's crazy. And each day changes. So all you're doing by giving up is guaranteeing that you're done. You're guaranteeing that you're losing. I'm not a loser. Troy's not a loser. I'm going to fight every single day because tomorrow could be so much better than today. And if tomorrow's worse than today was, well, then the next day could be better than that. And that's my attitude.
Yes.
And that's what I think. And yes, I can still, if I get on social media and I watch the news and everybody gets all doom and gloom around me, it can absorb me, but I don't do it. I'm not allowing it.
Yes.
In fact, I'm going to take a Facebook. I'm going to take a quarantine from Facebook, the real disease out here, the real virus of BS
Yes.
that is being spread. And y'all should do the same thing. It is not going to do anything for your mental health, and that will also not do anything for your business and your physical health. Stress kills.
Yes.
Stress kills. So guys, I hope that you guys find strength through this. You find hope and encouragement through this episode. I'm fired up. I'm excited. I still have customers that are pausing accounts. I still have customers that they have been shut down by their states. And so when my customers cancel, I lose money too. But I am going to stay positive and I'm going to keep fighting. And I hope that you all will keep continuing to do it with us, because we're going to be here every single week. Even if we're locked in our own houses, we will be here with you every single week to the bitter end. And the end is nowhere near, because we're going to be just fine. It's going to end soon. And we're, the negativity is going to end soon. The virus is going to be taken care of soon. This is my mentality, and we're going to bounce back from this. This too shall pass.
Yep.
Anything else, Troy?
No, that's it. Just be positive. Get out there and look for the best that's going on in your life and focus on those things.
That's right. All right, guys. Well, this is another episode of SoTellUs Time. Please share it with your friends and family, your business owner friends. Get it out there. Share it with everybody, because everybody needs a little bit of positivity in their life right now. And we've got the business sense. We are helping businesses shift their mindsets, change their ideas. If you need help, email us, message us, call us, whatever you have, get in contact with us. It's not hard. Search SoTellUs or SoTellUs Time, and you will find us pretty much anywhere you can do searches. So we will talk to you guys next week on the next episode of SoTellUs Time.